Daily life in Hermantown was filled with both hardships and pleasures.
And people stayed at home. You lived on a farm, had cattle, had animals, had chickens, whatever. So your time was required there. There wasn't time for socializing as we know it today. The day started at 6 in the morning, it probably ended at 9 at night. And that was 7 days a week.
Then, of course, for silage, they used to raise a lot of rutabagas. And it was my job to get out in the field there and cut the tops and cut the bottoms off. And we put them in a big bin in the barn. And when it come time for feeding time, well, we used to take these rutabagas and cut them up, slices, so the cows wouldn't choke on them.
Father lived on a farm, a 40-acre farm, and grew vegetables and potatoes and rutabagas. They fed the rutabagas to the cows, but the vegetables they traded for staples in a store down in Duluth. He'd have potatoes that he'd trade for groceries and stuff like that.
When I was growing up, we had kerosene lights. And we had a lantern that you have to carry the light, fill with kerosene, light it, carry it to the barn so you can milk the cows.
People didn't have to have kerosene lamps with them all the time. In the 1930s, Minnesota Power and Light started putting electrical lines through Hermantown. While farming played a large role in life, not everybody farmed.
My father was, when I was really born in Proctor, and my father, he worked for what they used to call a Cubs grocery up there. That's where his first job was. And then he got a job for the Sioux Line Railway, working in the freight shed. He was a checker in the freight shed for the Sioux Line Railway.
Father worked on the houses as an electrician, and so this probably gave him some opportunity to get one of the first houses because he had worked on it and showed an interest in possessing one.
Of course, life in Hermantown was not all work. There was also plenty of fun to be had.
Everybody seemed to enjoy themselves, and we had, on Sundays, we had ball games, Hermantown and Adolph and different organizations organized, and that was our good time on Sunday to go to the ball game, and we enjoyed that.
When I was a kid running around here in the latter part of the 1940s, Cubs roller rink at Pike Lake was a focal point of summer activity, and we just used to hike up there all the time. And of course, being it's rural in character, we spent a lot of time outdoors, but that was a focal point through into the 40s and the 50s.
And we used to make big bonfires. We used to take and cut the stumps, you know what I mean? And we'd do that during the day, so in the evening we'd start a big bonfire and we'd skate around the stumps.
It didn't make much difference what you had, because everybody was poor. So we were all in the same boat.
We had a good life here in Hermantown, and we were all happy kids. And
life in Hermantown was far from being easy, but people still made the most of what time they had.